Mr. Akase, we've seen a statement accredited to the governor, to the government of your state, saying that they're losing confidence in the ability of the federal government to restore security in the state. Is that right?
Absolutely correct, Maokwe. And I stand by the call by the people of Benue State. See, what you have read in the papers that the governor has said has called for the resignation of the IG or his sack, as the case may be, is not coming only from the governor, it's coming from the people of Benue State who have lost confidence in his office and have lost confidence in him as a person.
They're very heavy. Yeah,
that he has not been able to discharge his duties as the chief police officer of this country. And the disappointment of Benue people is rooted in these facts. Let me list some of the lies that the IGP, the current IGP, has told since the problem started. Just briefly,
before you go into what you term the lies, you're aware that the statement you're making and the statement that your government has come out with are quite weighty.
What do you expect, Mark?
What do you expect? You're also aware that
when you have a people, Benue is part of this country. And Benue people have absolute confidence in the Nigerian police. Benue's sons and daughters have risen to top positions in the police force. That means Benue has contributed to the Nigerian police. But when you have an IGP who is not interested in telling the truth, then there is a problem.
Mr. Akase, I want to come in here because I want to be very clear about what the grounds are upon which you are not calling for, your government, state government is calling for the resignation of the IG. Is it purely incompetence, or are you alleging that there is some sort of ethnic conspiracy going on against the people of Benue State?
It may not be incompetent. I mean, it may not be not just a matter of incompetence or ethnic agenda. It is because the current IGP is not ready to tell the truth. And let me tell you why. First, he said the problem in Benue is a communal clash, which is not true. It is an invasion. It is a deliberate attempt to kill the people of Benue by herdsmen. He also said, when he was directed by the president to move to Benue, he went to Benue, spent a day, and relocated to Nasarawa State. That's another lie. He said he has been in Benue, but it's not true. And the people of Benue told him facts when he held the stakeholders meeting. He has not reported, he has not told Nigeria what the people told him. It was reported in the papers what he said to the Senate. And the police has not come out to deny those reports. The PPRO, the first PRO is here. Let him deny now that the IG said, let him deny that the IG said what was reported. He has not denied it, remember. He didn't refute that report.
PRO, please.
Thank you so much.
Please, let me lie.
I have the floor.
Sorry, sir. I was listing the lies. Now, another lie is that he said what the problem of Benue is open grazing prohibition law, which is a lie. Benue was attacked more than almost 50 times before this law came into existence. So the problem cannot be the law. It is certainly not the law. We have had attacks in Adamawa State, in Kaduna State, in Edo State, in Enugu State, in Ebonyi, and many other parts of this country where the law does not exist. So the police cannot say it is the law that is the problem in Benue State. It is not the law.
This is a moderated program.
So the IGP is not telling us the truth.
Mr. Akase, this is a moderated program, and we must adhere to decorum. PRO, please respond.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say for people to know that it is irresponsible of the governor of Benue State to have called for resignation of the IG. Because one, he's supposed to be the one to resign first for not being able to sustain peace in the state. The federal police force, which is the Nigerian police force, are spread across the country. And people that are mobilizing to Benue are equally from other parts of the country. And people who are residents of Benue is not only governor to the Benue people alone, but to equally people who are living there. So, and if the IG says it's a communal issue, the whatsoever the herdsmen are community. Even the channel television today is a community. The elders, the farmers are of the same community. So it is a great disservice to the Inspector General of Police and to the Nigerian Police Force for the governor to call for a resignation. The governor should resign first. Then secondly, what he has said, the document presented before the Senate is for for action by the Senate, and nobody can make any part or complete document public until when the Senate decided on it and passed a resolution on that. And that is why we felt you don't join issue with a drawing man, because if you are the Inspector General of Police, the Inspector General of Police.
Just a moment.
Let me. I have Mr. Kase, he let you speak. He let you speak.
Mr. Kase, just a moment. Just a moment.
You will have your turn.
He has to
You will have your turn.
A moment.
The governor is popularly elected.
Mr. Kase, if I may come in here.
Mr. Akase, please restrain
We'll
yourself.
have to take a moment. We will take a moment now,
Restrain
and
yourself,
Sunrise
please.
Daily will continue in just a moment. If this goes on, we will have to end the show. I'm going to ask you.
That was a strong statement.
Just a moment. I'm going to ask you. I'm the moderator here.
I'm sorry.
And if you will not calm down, then we'll have to excuse you from the show.
That's okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So,
Mr. Mashood, I'm afraid that you will have to withdraw the statement. The idea is not to get personal. If he has called for the resignation of the IGP, he has every right to do so. You don't have to get personal.
no, I'm not
So
going
just a moment,
personal.
you do
I'm
not have to, when you call the
I'm
governor
not
of
going
a state,
personal.
a drowning...
I'm not going
Mr.
personal.
Mashood, just a
there,
moment.
There are a lot of...
Mr. Mashood, if I may land, if when you call the governor of a state a drowning man, you're getting personal.
I don't consider it personal.
So please, kindly withdraw the statement.
If for the purpose, for me, it's not a personal issue because it's not an abuse on the
There is no water
But,
where he's drowning. Please kindly withdraw the statement.
For the purpose of continuing this program, I wouldn't withdraw the statement because the fact is that he called for resignation of the IG without any reason. And it's equally a personal issue on the IG because he doesn't call for the resignation of all the police personnel across the country.
Mr. Moshood.
Calling for the resignation of the IG and saying that the IG lied by his press secretary here. Then equally they should withdraw it.
Mr. Moshood, you are the representative of the federal police force, the Nigerian police force. It is a disservice to our viewers to have this kind of name calling on this platform. With that, Mr. Akase, I just want to ask you, every time a solution has been proffered by the federal government to end this crisis, these farmer-herdsman clashes, it seems that at every turn, the Benue state governor has essentially rejected it, whether it be cattle colony, whether it be closer into, cooperation between states in the Middle Belt, or whether it be the suspension of the implementation of the anti-grazing law. I want to ask you, Mr. Akase, in terms of looking forward to a solution, how can your government, your state government, work with the federal government to end this crisis instead of pointing fingers and name-calling?
Well, we have been doing that a lot. And I thank you for this question. We've been doing that. The government of Benue State has already found a solution to the problem through the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law. And that is why when the police PRO said the governor has lost control, I found that very, very laughable because they are the federal government. They control security. The commissioner of police in Benue will not act until he receives orders from Abuja. The governor does not direct him. He doesn't command him. This is what the law says. And remember that the Police Act has stated clearly in Section 4 that the duty of the police is to protect lives and to maintain law and order. This is what the Police Act says clearly in Section 4. And the police, as it is now, have appeared to be incapable of doing that through the IGP. And that's why we are saying if he is not able to do this, then give way for someone who is competent.
Mr. Akase, that wasn't my question. What I was asking is beyond the police.
We have already found a solution. I have answered your question. We have found a solution through the law, which is the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law.
But people are still dying. Can you say it's a solution?
What the police needs to do is to help the Benue people, help the Benue state government to implement this law. That is what the job of the police is not to criticize laws. Police are not to criticize laws. The Act does not allow the IGP to criticize laws. The Act allows him to maintain laws. And when a law is enacted, the law of Benue was popularly enacted through public hearings by the State Assembly. And the police were part of the public hearings. They didn't present any memo to counter what the Benue government was doing. If they did, let him tell you now that they presented memorandum to, memos to the public hearings to correct some of the things they are criticizing now. The IGP went to Tungwa and was asking people in the marketplace, do you hold arms? Do you hold arms? Is that how to do investigation? He has said this. Now, how is that how? He said he didn't find militia in Tungwa. The governor has said people are coming from Tungwa to attack Benue. And the IGP went to Tungwa and stayed in the marketplace and was asking people if they hold arms.
Mr. Kase,
Our militia are kept in marketplaces.